achievement to have 95% pass rate in the airborne course.
I'm glad to tell you that the cadets are really responding to training, and as we have now, we have warriors ready to be shipped out of the academy to meet the challenges of the country.
Next was the amphibious course. The Army cadets were in the Amphibious Training School, Calabar, Cross River State, for another phase of specialized training where they received training on the rudiments of company amphibious operations. The training was geared towards the development of officer cadets to deliver the desired effect in all forms of amphibious operations in the combat front lines. The amphibious course was closely followed by the combat shooting training. The cadets underwent a 6 weeks extensive combat shooting at Kachia, Kaduna State. The combat shooting covered both technical and tactical shooting, with each cadet firing no less than 4,500 rounds of live ammunition during the training. The cadets were trained on precision shooting in both day and night, casualty recovery shooting on the enemy fire, small team clearing of enemy positions, and survival skills. After attaining a high level of proficiency in weapon handling and combat shooting, upon return to the academy, the cadets participated in the inter-battalion shooting competition at the Nigerian Defense Academy Shooting Range, Africa.
Having gone through this same process, what I saw today is by far better than what we did at the time.
72 naval cadets of 16-hour regular course underwent midshipman training, which lasted for 11 months at the Nigerian Naval College, Onne. The midshipman training was conducted in 4 phases. In Phase 1, the naval cadets underwent training on leadership and management, divisional duties and ship administration, while Phase 2 covered professional courses peculiar to the Navy. This phase ended with midshipman qualifying examination. Phase 3 featured security and operations. In the final phase of the midshipman training, the cadets embarked on sea operations training on board selected Navy ships for a period of 4 months. Similarly, in line with the reviewed NDA curriculum, the Air Force cadets underwent training at the Military Training Center, Nigerian Air Force Base, Kaduna. 59 Air Force cadets of 16-hour regular course were hosted by the Military Training Center, NAF Base, Kaduna, for their final year training, where they partook in specialized exercises throughout a period of 1 year as flight cadets. In the second and final phase, the flight cadets were sent to specialist units and training schools within the NAF Base in Kaduna for their initial on-the-job training in their allotted specialist trades. Traditionally, the final year Army Cadets training culminates with exercise Camp Highland, which was hitherto conducted in 2 phases. But in the new curriculum, it was modified into 4 phases spread across 4 states. During Phase 1 of the training exercise in Makurdi, Benue State, the cadets demonstrated their assault river crossing skills across River Benue. The cadets also demonstrated their ability to conduct both silent and noisy crossing operations to simulate all aspects of assault river crossing.
As platoon commanders, there will be tasks to secure a bridgehead for the remaining body of troops, maybe at company level or battalion level, to now come and assault.
I'm highly impressed by the level of training they have received, and I believe that this crop of cadets will make very good officers in the future.
This river crossing phase was followed by the adventure training at the Citizenship and Leadership Training Center, Cherry Hills, Jos, Plateau State, where the cadets were exercised in abseiling, rappelling and watermanship training, amongst others. As part of the training on Sherry Hills, cadets had to go through a series of obstacle courses, and one of these obstacle courses is the Assault Obstacle Crossing. The Assault Obstacle Crossing concluded Phase 2 of exercise Camp Island in Jos. This also marked the commencement of Phase 3, which was the mechanized operations hosted by the Nigerian Army Armored Corps, Bauchi. While in Bauchi, the cadets had a rare privilege of conducting a fully mechanized advance and quick attack operations with the technical support of the Infantry, Armor and Artillery Corps. The mechanized advance operation culminated into the Armor Firepower demonstration, where the Army cadets experienced the Armor Shock action at the Victor Kure Armor Range, Bauchi. To strengthen this demonstration in a joint environment, the Nigerian Air Force provided close air support during the exercise as part of the air-land battle integration training enshrined in the revised training curriculum of the Academy. The cadets were left astonished by the demonstration of combined effect of firepower in a joint setting.
Being an eye-opener, it has broadened my knowledge on how effective the Army can be when there is synergy and cooperation between the combat arms, combat support arms and the sister services, especially the Nigerian Air Force.
Other activities on the range were counter-ambush drills and armor tank simultaneous firing, which concluded the mechanized operation phase in Bauchi. For the final phase of exercise Camp Island, the cadets were moved to Kachia, Kaduna State, where they carried out a purely dismounted infantry operation. This encompassed conventional warfare such as offensive, defensive and transitional operations, as well as counter-asymmetric operations, where they occupied a forward operating base in a counter-insurgency setting. The cadets also carried out a tactical advance operation through jungle setting, covering a distance of 45 kilometers, clearing series of objectives including sniper positions, section attack, platoon and controlled adversary company positions. These operations also featured close air support by the Nigerian Air Force. From the forward operating base, the cadets carried out series of small teams operations covering fighting patrols, raids and ambushes. The tactical phase was concluded with a deliberate dawn attack on the adversary's strong position. The final activity and high point of Camp Island 2022 was the battle inoculation at the Table Hill in Kachia. Battle inoculation simulates realistic actions on the combat front lines. In the process, the cadets learned how to react and cope with stress and endure the rigors of combat. The simulated conditions involved the use of live fire from artillery gun, armored tanks and Air Force platforms. This was aimed to thoroughly prepare the cadets for combat deployment. Some of the weapons fired during the battle inoculation include the 40mm rocket launcher, 105 pack howitzer, 155 howitzer, ST-1 tank, Sage tank, Scorpion tank, anti-aircraft gun, amongst others. The commandant of the Nigerian Defense Academy, Major General Ibrahim Mani Yusuf, appreciated the Defense Headquarters, Nigerian Army, Navy and Air Force for their support towards actualizing the revised military training curriculum, of which the cadets of 16 regular course were the first beneficiaries.
they are only able
to showcase their drama skills, which was followed by a cultural display by the local community's cultural dance troupes. A tough and challenging journey that commenced in September 2017 finally terminates on 6th of October 2022 with the graduation of 233 officers specially molded to effectively operate in the contemporary volatile and complex operating environment. 69 regular course is unique, being the first course to run the reviewed Nigerian Defense Academy curriculum. Indeed, the Nigerian Defense Academy has fully prepared these highly motivated young officers to be fully receptive and adaptive for further training by their respective services. As they enter into the mainstream of the armed forces, the Academy is highly optimistic that they will serve our dear nation with loyalty and valor. May God guide and protect our new generation of young warrior leaders, members of the 69 regular course of the Nigerian Defense Academy.
on, God, I think you come and break again. Come on, God, I think you come and break again. Come on, God, I think you come and break again.
The breaking to the house one of the adopters escape. The breaking to the house one of the adopters escape to apprehend others and rescue the victims. Now they've rescued the victims. When you're engaged, putting two pistols. Behind in the middle.
1, 2, 3. And your Yes. 1, 2, 3. Exercise people.
The first two will shoot at 100. Let's do two.
from July to August 2019. From the square formation right now, they are moving in a circular formation as they synchronize their steps and as they play their instruments. This is beautiful with an impeccable turnout.
Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel of NDA and Polak RC. Because of the fact that there is less information about the Nigerian Defense Academy, I decided to make videos that tell you about the application, screening, interview, and admission processes of the academy based on the narrated story. This is part 1 of the video. Since my childhood, I don't like anything besides becoming an officer of the Nigerian Armed Forces. At the time, my first choice was Nigerian Navy. After I finished secondary school, I developed interest in becoming Nigerian Army. Before I know about the Nigerian Defense Academy, my intention was to apply for the recruitment in the Nigerian Army. Luckily, during 7th year RC, my friend applied for NDA and was admitted at first attempt. So, I also applied for the 71 regular course. I applied for Army, Political Science and Defense Studies. My JAM score was 201. After UTME result was out, we were invited to NDA entrance examination. I read a lot. The exam was written on Saturday, and after 1 week, our name was shortlisted and we were invited to the Armed Forces Selection Board. NDA entrance exam was a little bit harder than I think, but I was able to pass it with the help of God. 71 RC was the first time that 85 people were shortlisted per state by the academy. Before 71 RC, it was only 50 people, which was called 50-man list. At the time, candidates were to report into 2 batches, first and second batch, so our state was to report among second batch. We were asked to come with 3 blue shirts and white t-shirt round neck. It was exactly on Saturday, 12 July 2019, when we report to the Armed Forces Selection Board, Kaduna Ribadu campus. Many people were coming from different places across Nigeria. At our arrival, we were asked to sit and join our state on the queue. My name was checked and I was given chest number. In the academy, your chest number is your means of identification. After I collected my chest number, I waited for credential screening because that was the first stage of the screening. But I was not opportune to be screened on that day. But many people from my state were screened. I reported on Saturday. My screening took place on Sunday. I arrived at NDA on Saturday around 2 p.m. On the second batch, I was told to join my state on the queue. And I do as I was told. After some time, we were taken into NDA. Our name was verified on the list. Chest number was given to us, and we were marched to the documentation center. Many people from my state were credentially screened, but I was not be able to be screened on that day until the following day, Sunday. I used to sleep around 9 to 10 p.m. But that day, I went to my bed at 12 a.m. and was waking up by 3 a.m. to prepare for the line. At that moment, I bathed and joined the line. Around 4 p.m., we were taken to cadet mess to take our food. I am a Muslim, so I pray when I arrived at the cadet mess. When we still wait till 5 a.m. Before we start eating our food, you have to know that NDA respect time more than anything. They also never play with food. Whatever you are doing, they will give you food at the right time. We're supposed to eat our food by 5 a.m., but we were waking up by 3 a.m. so that to prepare for the food. Sometimes including meat and fish. After we finished our breakfast, we were taken to documentation, where my credentials were checked. Our credential screening result was called 2 days after the screening was concluded. 8 people were disqualified in my state because of age and alterations. But I was be able to pass because I have no credential problem. From the documentation center, we were taken directly to NDA New South Africa for medical checkup. The first stage of the medical screening was blood pressure, followed by physical screening, where you will remove your clothes in this stage. Pile, flat foot, bow leg, and calyx were checked. Our teeth were examined. Height and weight were measured. There was eye test where long and short sightedness and color blindness were checked. There was also ECG, which is known as electrocardiography, where some wires were put on our chest to measure our heartbeat. We spent 4 days before the medical checkup was concluded. The result of the screening was called on Monday, days after the medical was done. We were 77 candidates remained in our state after the credential screening. But after the medical result was called, only 28 people remained. The rest were disqualified. When the result was calling, my heart was overbeating. 5 people were disqualified directly in front of me, but I was very lucky to pass. People that were disqualified were crying, as well as those who were passed were crying of joy. After the calling of medical result was concluded, we were taken to 3.2 kilometer race. Before I continue, subscribe to the channel because that is the only way to encourage me. After NDA called the result of medical screening, those that passed were taken to NDA 3.2 kilometer race, while those that failed were kept at the NDA parade ground. The disqualified candidates were told the medical problem that disqualified them. The qualified candidates, we were taken to gate to prepare for the 3.2 kilometer race. We were arranged according to state and according to gender. Females were put in front of us. Our race started 3 minutes after females start their own. The 3.2 kilometer race is not like what people are thinking about it. There is nothing like closing gate that you have been hearing from your friends. I am about to tell you very important point, so listen very well. Remember, 3.2 kilometer race is part of NDA physical screening processes. Whatever you do, marks will be awarded. The 3.2 kilometer race is divided into 3 cages. Any cage has its marks. If the race started, you have 15 minutes to reach in first cage, 18 for second cage, and 20 minutes for third cage. Those who finish in first cage have 10 marks, second cage 8 marks, and those who finish in third cage 6 marks. There is a stage that even if you reach, you will not be awarded any mark. It depends on the cage you enter, the first, second, or third. During my time, I was able to reach in first cage, even though I started the race slowly. So, I make my 10 marks from the beginning of the physical screening. Candidate, you have to note that 3.2 kilometer race is very important and is determined whether you will make it or not, sometimes, but not all the time. After the whole screening is over, marks you have will be gathered into one place. Those with high marks are those that will be admitted. So you have to prepare for 3.2 kilometer race. If you train yourself hard, you will find it easy. After medical tests, marks awarded tests started from 3.2 kilometer race. You have to listen very careful so that you will understand better. For those that don't know about the episode 1, 2, and episode 3, check the comment box. I dropped the link. After the 3.2 kilometer race, marks will be awarded to those in first cage, second cage, and third cage. From there, candidates will be directed to another round of physical fitness or obstacles crossing, which include both individual and groups. During the physical fitness, there are some ropes that you need to cross without falling down. There is also jumping, which candidates undergo and be observed by instructors. Candidates who jumped and do it correct will be awarded 10 marks, and those fall in a prohibited area will be on their mark, their failure, and their closeness to success. During my period, I was able to acquire enough of marks during the physical fitness test, which helps me a lot at the end. After the individual and groups obstacles, there are other tests like aptitude and psychological tests. During aptitude tests, there are some questions that you will see. Some questions include something that happens from time your screening began, and questions about both president, chief of defense staff, and questions related to that. While psychological test is to test your ability to bring solution to a problem within a short period of time. During the psychological test, there is neither correct answer nor wrong. Marks are awarded according to your closeness to the possible solution. Immediately after the physical fitness screening, candidates are to move to both where interview is taking place. During interview, candidates will have a privilege to sit and talk with both presidents. The first stage of interview is that from the period you enter, you will see many military officers of the high rank. The board president is a major general. As you enter, you will be asked to sit down and calm to yourself. After they get your attention, the first question that you will be asked is to introduce yourself. During the introduction, you are expected to tell them your name, state, local government, course you apply, and others related to information like that. The second and the third questions are about your course and current affairs. In this junction, I would like to advise you candidates that you should be using yes during the interview instead of okay, sir. If you are asked a question, answer it very louder. During interview, it's not only the answer of those questions that are required, but also your confidence. There is mark for answering a question as well as your boldness and confidence. After the screening is over, the marks that are acquired by candidates will be gathered together. The ones with highest mark are the ones to be selected as successful and reserved candidates. To be a candidate is not one day job. You have to prepare as early as possible.